have. Welcome, Greg Larson. I'm so grateful you're here.
I'm so glad to be here, Dr. Sarah Larson.
Full disclosure, Greg Larson is also my husband, and so I might call him baby, and we'll be sharing really great, intimate stories about our life and the Course in Miracles and what this beautiful book can truly offer you and the insights that are in it.
It's a powerful teaching, yeah, and it's been referenced by many, even my spiritual mentor Eckhart Tolle. I'm just remembering back to his first book, The Power of Now. I think the Course in Miracles is the most referenced, source in that book, because it's such a powerful, reflection of truth.
And the Course in Miracles is a book that was written. It's just celebrated its 50th birthday, and it took a number of years to write. And it's a new age, new thought book that really offers tools for personal transformation. And so many of our spiritual mentors, many of the teachers, Oprah Winfrey makes reference to it, Marianne Williamson, Eckhart Tolle, both of us make reference to it in our work. And so that's what we're talking about.
Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. Of the spiritual insights that are in there and the tools that it offers. And so today we'll be covering those, along with a story of how you met the Princess of Norway, knowing the principles that are in the Course in Miracles. Can I share just a little bit about you first, which is Greg Larson is one of the co-founders of Living with Tolle. It is a #1 podcast. When it releases a podcast, it blows us away. It's ranked higher than Eckhart Tolle's or Oprah Winfrey's. And so Living with Tolle, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. My co-host and I are Leo Aristimuño. Several years ago, actually it was 2008 when we had our first podcast. And it's basically, us riffing, as we call it, since we're both, blues and jazz, aficionados, is that, we're just talking about the teachings of Eckhart Tolle, but specifically with wife and with, kids and with a career and with, all the distractions of daily life, all the demands of daily life. How do you live with Tolle? Or in a sense, how do you live with these spiritual teachings?
How do you live in the moment? How are you most effective?
Well, how do you forgive? How do you, all the things that even the Course talks about, it's, how do you apply those? Because, a lot of that requires the mind that's engaged in third dimensional reality, where you have to deal with these very practical elements. And because you're giving so much of your attention to this dimension, the ego's in there making all kinds of muckety-muck. And so how do you live in the fourth dimension or the fifth dimension, the timeless dimension, the spiritual dimension, and be there and be present, be relaxed, be stress-free, and still, navigate the real world. And that's what our conversations are about.
That's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, Living with Tolle. And much of the teachings of the Course in Miracles is in there. How would you begin to summarize? I loved what you shared the last time we were talking about this. How would you summarize A Course in Miracles? Basic philosophy on love and fear.
I think what comes to mind is, the title of Marianne Williamson's book. Marianne Williamson is a teacher, and she made a profound impact upon the world by, kind of reframing the teachings and bringing new life to them. Later on, and I think it was in the 90s, we were reading that it was when she released the book, and Oprah Winfrey had her on to talk about the book. And her book was called A Return to Love, and I think that's it right there. That's a beautiful, succinct statement about what the Course, is offering. It's really, as I was talking, our mind is continually being distracted by this old paradigm of fear, of guilt, of, judgment. And it's like, you have to shift away from that. And where do you go if you're going to shift away from that? To love. and to
Absolutely.
forgiveness.
It's such a beautiful book. It redefines so many terms that we use in common language in reference to our spirituality. It redefines the word sin. It redefines it to meaning missing your mark. And when you take the word sin back to its Aramaic, the definition, the origin of the word meant, it was a marksman's term, and it meant missing the mark. And so the Course in Miracles redefines so many words, and it begins out with saying, we cannot tell you everything love is, but we can really truly tell you everything that is not love or keeps you from love. And so it goes on to define all of these amazing terms that we use commonly, and really allows us to reevaluate how we look at everything from love, our relationships, to the ways that we beat ourselves up, and sin, guilt, shame. Those sorts of concepts are redefined in there. And in it, it really makes a distinction that says your body, your thought process, your being can only be housing either love or it can be housing fear. If it's housing fear of any sort, you're not in a process of expansion of love, and you're living, and the way that you're seeing and experiencing life is like a lie versus the truth. When we're a house, when our energy, when our thoughts, when spiritually we're in the field of love, we are then experiencing real reality and possibilities.
That's it right there. And it's so easy, as the Course talks about, it's so easy to live in the world, this false world of the ego. And so it's, which is not a world of love. The ego is a world of judging, of blaming, of condemning, of living in fear, of living in guilt. And so, and that is, that's a world of suffering, and all teachings talk about that. Buddhism for one, that's where suffering arises, is by living your life, in this perception of the ego. And then it's easy to get swept away by that, and then spend your whole day thinking about things you regret, blaming other people for, the way things didn't turn out. Yes. And instead of living in the miraculous of what life really can be, how your life can shift on a dime in a very positive direction. But it's much more difficult to do that when you're clinging, or when you're being forced to live in this perception of the ego.
And that's such a beautiful thing. The word miracle is defined in the Course of Miracle as a shift in perception of a conscious choice that you make in your mind, that allows more possibilities, allows for the correct thinking, allows for you to even be able to connect with others, to allow them to have correct thinking as well. And so a miracle as the conscious choice to make the mind shift, including its non-observable effects on the minds of others. And so this is Dr. Sarah Larson. I'm in studio with Greg Larson on CRN Network. This is Divine Love Talk. We are talking about this beautiful book called A Course in Miracles. It was written in the 70s, really completed in the 70s. It was started in 1965, and it's incredible. Helen Schumachman says that she was transcribing an inner voice, and that inner voice that she was hearing, she attributes to Jesus. And she and another fellow that she was working with, William Thetford, went through and really dictated. And in the time frame that this book came out was when they were really in disharmony with each other. And this book really allowed for them to find the personal, as they were writing it, as it was being dictated, as it was transcribed and began to be shared. It caused mind shifts in their life in such ways that they were powerfully able to affect so many people going forward. And the basic concept of love, of housing love versus fear, and another concept of forgiveness. And so how would you define forgiveness?
Well, it's funny, because we were talking about they were experiencing disharmony in their relationship. And when I think back on our relationship now, we've, had our 10th anniversary, and, it's been a journey for sure. And one of the things that's been a core anchor for our relationship is, you're forgiven before you do anything. And so it's it's been so instrumental in us allowing to see beyond the pain that we each brought to the relationship, and how that pain creates disharmony at times in our relationship, and not focusing on that because it's from the past. It's not the truth of who you are or who I am. And so it's been a powerful guide on our journey. And as we look beyond that pain and offer forgiveness and continue to bring our attention back to the truth of who we are, then those miracles of transformation have been able to happen, and we've been able to grow together instead of apart. We've been able to support each other in becoming more and more our miraculous self, and more, seeing or experiencing the miracles, seeing the possibilities of miracles, and focusing our attention there instead of, oh my God, I can't believe what you did last week or last year or 5 years ago. You're the most, despicable person on the planet, blah, blah, blah. All those things that couples can so easily get trapped in.
Yes.
And continually releasing that and not focusing on that because it's not the truth, and continually focusing our attention on the miracle of transformation, and knowing that this person can not be some sort of, it's not about being Pollyanna and thinking this person's, going to be, just perfect all the time or anything like that. It's like looking beyond those missteps, or looking beyond those times when the past rears its head, or when unconsciousness rears its head, and continually bringing our focus back to you are love.
Yes.
And we're gonna return to love and begin again fresh there.
And that's one of the most powerful concepts, I think, for anyone in relationships is you're forgiven before you do anything. And it's such a beautiful thought of all the different ways that you can use that throughout the day, I use it for myself. It used to be really hard for me to make a mistake in my day, and I would continually beat myself up for it. And so, not only did it become a call for our relationship, for every time that I saw you as not loving, or saw you as harming something, or pain got called up inside of me, it also, you're forgiven before you do anything, became a call to action, a badge of courage, releasing that and talking about that. I am so glad that you guys are listening to us. Greg Larson of Living with Tole is in studio. We'll be back.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
How would you like to taste the most delicious meatballs this holiday season? You can with our friend Larry Minetti's Meatballs, as seen on QVC. Go to QVC.com and search Minetti Meatballs. These are hand-rolled 3 ounces each meatballs, 30 in a bag, made with veal, beef, pork, spices, breadcrumbs, imported ricotta and Romano cheese. They are delicious. Minetti's Meatballs, fried in pure Italian olive oil. They come frozen. You can heat and serve them in a 350-degree oven for just 10 to 15 minutes. They'll make a real hit this holiday season. Taste Larry Minetti's Meatballs. Larry Minetti from Hawaii 5-0 and Magnum PI. He was on QVC and he sold out of these meatballs. Go to QVC.com and search Minetti Meatballs. That's QVC.com, Minetti, M-A-N-E-T-T-I, Meatballs. QVC.com, search Minetti Meatballs, the real taste of Italy.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
And we are back. It's Dr. Sarah Larson in for Dr. Parthenia Grant. In studio with us is Greg Larson, my darling husband and awesome teacher, friend. I would call you a mentor, very much so. When we met 11 years ago, July 10th. Our first date was July 15th, 2003. It was quite a miracle. I had all of these crazy rules for dating back then. I was on my way to serve in clinics down in Mexico, and a little voice inside my head kept me interested in hanging around you. And
I would say it was a voice in your heart.
I would say it was a voice in my heart as well. And I believe all marriages are made in heaven prior to us coming into form, all of these sacred agreements that we make. And it's such a sweetness that our daughter and our son, and we're celebrating, December is quite a month for us. We have December 9th is when our 9-year-old daughter turned 10 and our 7-year-old son turned 8, and our nephew turns 22, and we celebrate all the holidays. And so we're lighting candles, and we're putting up Christmas trees, and we're inviting people over for many, many celebrations. And so this, I can't believe what a blessing it is that we met, and I allowed myself to let go of fear in your presence. I let go and allowed the possibility of love and children and really truly a community in. And when I met you, I was so not afraid of germs, not afraid of anything medicine related, not afraid of helping another person, but I was really a prisoner of my mind in the area of love. And for our friends that are listening out there that are having any sort of things, issues with really living the life that they intend, or even opening up to a new way of being, we are offering Miracle Mondays. It's going to be 5:30 Pacific time on Mondays, starting in January, where we summarize a week's worth of lessons in A Course in Miracles. So the Course in Miracles is divided up into 3 segments. One is the book, one is the textbook, and one is definitions for the teachers of the work. And so we're going to take the daily lessons that have been written out and summarize the key concepts of those. Greg Larson, Greg Roach, and myself, Dr. Sarah Larson, at 5:30 p.m. We're calling them Miracle Mondays, and we'll make sure on Divine Love Talk, the Facebook page, everyone has access to the webinar links. And so what's your intention with the Miracle Mondays?
Well, I think part of it sprung up because the 2015 is the 50th anniversary.
Yes.
And, and A Course in Miracles is just coming powerfully up into our awareness this year. And so we were having a conversation with Greg Roach the other day, and it kind of miraculously arose that, hey, since we're having this focus on the Course in Miracles, why don't we offer as a gift this Miracle Monday program? And so it's a webinar, and as Dr. Sarah said, it's going to be Mondays at 5:30 Pacific time, and you're going to be able to, listen live, and there'll be an opportunity because there's a chat as part of our webinar online, so you can ask questions, you can share your experience, and it's really just a way to begin in more powerfully being reminded of these core principles, and then being offered opportunities to practice them. And so as we leave the conversation each week, there'll be suggestions that we offer, that things you can do for this upcoming week to ground A Course in Miracles more and more into your life, to ground these concepts such as love,
yes,
and forgiveness, and really, as the Course states, to forgive all things, whether it's your mom or dad, or whether it's that teacher, or those bullies back in school, or those embarrassing situations that arose with friends or with situations in high school, whatever that is from your past, with people who have, molested you in any sort of way. You have to forgive all things so that love can just blossom in your heart and you can live your life from love.
And I want you to imagine what it's like when you're having a really good day. And we're going to teach how the concepts in here have helped us create a really good day over and over and over again. And we really want 2015 to be a year of miracles for you as well. So when we come back, we'll talk more about what we're offering. It's free. We'll see you soon.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse. Much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears Authorized Licensed Contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-731-4185. That's 800-731-4185. 800-731-4185.
The holidays are almost here, so head into Guitar Center for the season's best deals on guitars, drums, keys, live sound, DJ, and more. Deals like a Yamaha acoustic guitar for only $89, microphone or instrument cables 3 for $20, or a Williams 88-key digital piano for just $149. So whether you're buying for someone else or yourself, music is a gift. Give it, share it, love it. Expert advice, the best selection, and unbeatable prices. This holiday at Guitar Center.
Hey, this is Bodie Stroud, host of In the Garage on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Join us every Wednesday and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk with all my friends from the automotive and custom car business about all the latest things going on in the industry today. That's In the Garage with me, Bodie Stroud, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
We are so glad that you're with us. This is Dr. Sarah Larson on Divine Love Talk. I've got the co-founder of Living with Tole, Greg Larson, in the house, and we are talking about A Course in Miracles and how much we want for your 2015 to be the year of miracles for you. We are starting a teleseminar on Mondays at 5:30 Pacific, California time. We want you to be able to join us on this webinar, and we really want to share with you what we're going to be sharing. The Course in Miracles has 3 parts to it. It's got a workbook section that gives us exercises every day to really key in on the main concepts. And the way that it's really beautifully written out is it takes, for each day of the year, it reconditions the mind to come out of fear and into love, and out of irresponsibility into responses that create connections for you. And both of us have been learning from so many great wise teachers and teachings. This is really a way in which to let years and years of pain dissolve. That's really what a miracle is.
And that's a powerful, powerful experience. And ultimately, as human beings, it's very challenging to navigate adolescence and youth and childhood without being hurt, and having those hurts create an imprint within us. And so as you're saying, we have an opportunity to make a conscious response, to no longer be trapped in that those unconscious ways of being, and be trapped in that pain of the past, which limits us, because human beings are miracles.
Yes.
And the human experience is a miraculous experience. And then that's, and then when you can consciously connect with the divine or God, or, the terms that, the Christ consciousness, all those things that the Course points us towards, when you can, give your perception and your awareness to that every day, more and more miraculous things begin to arise in your life. You can actually not only think about it or not just have a concept of it, but you actually experience the miraculous of the human experience, because we co-create with the divine. And we are, we're not just passive players in this big chess game that God is playing. No, we're actually, we're players that co-create the moves we make in life, and we can live a more and more miraculous life as we embody these teachings. And that's, of course, the reason for our webinar coming up in January, because we want to assist people. I want to assist myself, to be honest with you. It's somewhat a little bit of a selfish, experience, because I want to give my full focus. I've been aware of the course for, many years, and I've gone to different groups that have, that teach it, and been with teachers that teach it, and read about Marianne Williamson's work. I've had it in my mind for years, but I've never really given my full attention to having it be this really powerful daily experience. And so I'm excited, to participate in this, not only to be teaching it, but to participate in this and make 2015 a year of miracles for myself and for all those who want to participate.
And so that part of my own personal experience, I experienced one of the key concepts in A Course in Miracles is oneness. I had a near-death experience in my teens. I was really violently left for dead. And over a course of 2 weeks in that experience, I got to experience what I would call the energy field, this love field, this field of absolute potential and possibility. And I got to see how I co-created that experience that I was having being left for dead. And I could truly be able, coming out of that, I was able to forgive at such a profound level. And even beyond that, it became part of my mission to facilitate love into and around everyone around me. It was one of the main reasons that I went to med school, was to be able to help people as to the highest degree, and went around doing non-government organization work to help heal anyone that was physically ill, and miracles would happen even in med school, and where patients were miraculously healed. Later on, when I healed and forgave myself for whatever it was that kept me from accepting love for myself to the deepest level, I went on to create so many in my clients and my friends and service. And so this 2015 Miracle Mondays is really a thank you, and a continuation of being able to share the energy field and the key concepts. And I love to read. I will read 3 books a day if I could, nonstop. And when I read The Course in Miracles and began the workbook, it was the only work, and I've read the Vedas, I've read so many spiritual books, it was the only one that really laid out the field that I had felt when I was in that in and out of consciousness in the near-death experience. It laid out our oneness and how to harness our individual energy and power to be able to serve those that we love, those that are connected to those that we love, and ultimately everyone we come in contact with. One of the key concepts in the Course in Miracles is a lack of specialness for each individual that's around you, meaning there are no special relationships. Although Greg and I are married and have this powerful connection, the way that I love him, it begins to teach me how to be able to love, forgive, and connect with everyone in my life to those levels. And it's such like the way that you loved, the way that I loved when I was 10 years old was different from the way that I was 20 years old. It's so different now. It's such a mature love.
Yeah.
And it continues to grow in maturity. The concepts written out in the book teach us how to love with absolute maturity and absolute freedom, and how to receive ourselves. How kind are you to yourself now that you learned or have learned some of the ways that the field or everything is provided for you? And I'd love for you to talk about the princess, because I alluded to that a little bit. And so you just got back from Norway and you had this profound experience of meeting the princess of Norway, Princess Martha Louise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really a beautiful reflection of the miraculous and what's possible. And so I had planned this trip to Norway to go back and visit my family, and because I was on this reality TV show in 2013 called Alt for Norge, and the grand prize of this show, they take Norwegian Americans back to Norway, and the grand prize is a reunion with your family. So although I didn't win, I did go back here a few weeks ago in November and had a family reunion, which was a miraculous experience in itself. And to see this place where my great-grandfather was born and where he immigrated from in 1892 and never saw again, it was really a powerful and miraculous experience. But on this journey of going back to Norway, I was also invited by the Crystal Earth Project to bring a Crystal Earth seed to Norway. And so, again, this is an unfolding miraculous experience in my, the way I would perceive it and look at it, because so much of it was so synchronistic and brought together so effortlessly and so easily. So I was going to bring back the seed, and we found the place to plant it in Western Norway, which is where near my hometown is. And then along the way, we discovered that the Princess of Norway, Princess Martha Louise, is also an angel communicator, and she has a school that teaches people to communicate with angels, all this amazing stuff. She's a very conscious individual. And so the idea was we were going to gift her with a second seed. And so it's so funny because we kind of came up in conversation, and then it was like you totally could see the possibility of it and the miracle of that. And although I was wanting to believe in it, I was a little oh my gosh, can we make this happen? Is this something I can do? I don't know if I can pull off this miracle.
So we very publicly said, we're going to connect with the Princess of Norway. We have this beautiful pea seed, we know, and so listed it everywhere, and Greg's can we pull this off? Is this going to be, and I've got miracle after miracle after miracle story in my personal life. And I've made miracles for clients, and I've taught them to manifest so beautifully, so rapidly. In my courses, one of them, the manifesting courses, a girl came in between classes. She was manifesting $20,000 for her projects every week. And so I knew without having the physical knowing, I knew it would happen. And Greg, as much as he'd seen it with my clients, was like, can we, had that limitation. And
but then it was stated, and it was like, okay, time to embrace it. And
yes.
So we had written, the princess's organization, didn't hear back. And then through the organizer of this expo that I was going to be attending, who the princess was also going to be attending this expo and giving us a talk on her recent book and doing a book signing.
And again, we didn't sign up for the expo. You didn't sign up for it knowing the princess was going to be there.
I did not, yeah.
And then later it turned out she was going to be there.
That's right. And so I mentioned, that we wanted to gift her with the seed. So he connected us with the princess's secretary or assistant, personal assistant. So we wrote a letter to the assistant, and she said, she would discuss this with the princess, and came back saying, because of her position, she's unable to accept this as a gift. And this was a couple weeks before I was leaving. We just took a deep breath and we're like, let's keep our awareness in the land of the miraculous and see what happens. So not allowing it to mean anything. So
yes.
we raised the funds and brought the second seed. And so at the expo, I meet, a celebrity medium and healer in Norway. And, so during the course of the weekend, I asked her, would you, because she knew the princess, I asked her if she would approach the princess and let her know that we had the seed. And the princess's booth was just, a few feet away from mine. And so she did that. Lily Bendress is her name, and she came back and said, the princess is just unable to accept this, because of her position as a princess with the royal family. It was like, all right, we're unable to gift this seed to her. So since I had it, and she was the inspiration for this, I could see from my booth that, because she was there signing books, and the line, as towards the end of this experience, as the line was dwindling down, I just was like, well, I'm going to go over there and at least show it to her and let her know what this was that we were going to gift to her. So I put the seed in its, beautiful copper box, and I walked over there and introduced myself, and and she knew about it because of Lily's conversation with her. So I knelt down on one knee, and I opened the box up, and I presented her the seed, and she held it in her hands and was like, wow, it's totally beautiful, which it is. It's a beautiful,
yes,
sacred geometry shape, and it's these beautiful crystals in the interior of this piece. She held it and was like, wow, this is so powerful. What a beautiful piece. And then I told her, that we were going to plant one in Western Norway the following week, and that I would find some place in Norway to plant this. And as soon as I said that, she, was like, oh, what? Well, if I could make a request of you, if you could plant this seed in Oslo, I would appreciate that. So I had this, request from the Princess of Norway to find a place in Oslo to plant the second seed. So the miracle happened. It was this powerful experience, and as I was sharing this with people afterwards in Norway, they were like, well, that's so funny because it's so appropriate of the princess. She wouldn't want to keep this, the miracles that this seed can facilitate to herself in her home.
Yes.
She would want to share that with her country and with her people. And so it miraculously all worked out to such a better experience. Instead of gifting it to the Princess of Norway and having her keep it on her altar at her house or burying it in her yard, it was turned around in such a beautiful way where that it could be her intention having it planted in Oslo, which was not in my awareness at all. It was going to be in these other places around Norway. So now I'm on this sacred mission commissioned by the Princess of Norway to find the most perfect place in Oslo to plant this seed and have the healing energies of Earth, the conscious energies of Earth radiated out into Oslo for the transformation of consciousness there.
And so these beautiful crystal seed project, they are planting seeds and being asked to carry this beautiful seed to the land of the Nobel Peace Prize, and to the land of consciousness, the language of runes, these symbolic symbols of transformation amplified out to the world from there. And the Course in Miracles really is something that is so consistent with having words and symbols and feelings that create oneness. And when we come together, when two people come together, what they can come up with, honoring what their strengths, what they come up with is better than what they could come up with individually. And so every time your mind would come up with a fearful thought, as long as you directed it back to love, it became so beautiful that possibilities opened up, more possibilities. And
that which I could have never expected. Didn't have that in my awareness at all. It was impossible to even think that. But I was open to the miraculous.
Yes. And you are listening to the voice of Greg Larson. livingwithtole.com is his website. My name is Dr. Sarah Larson, and that's my website. We'll be back to wrap this up. The Miracle Mondays, A Course in Miracles. We'll see you in a few seconds. Thank you for being with us today. You listening means so much to us.
Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool. Indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kvhmaui.com. That's kvhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Turkey and cranberry sauce. That's comfort food for many folks. Now to spice things up, add some hot chili peppers to your holiday meal. But don't do it as a gag. Someone could get really sick. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, one of the hottest is the Trinidad Scorpion. Let's compare it with other hot things on the Scoville heat scale. Cayenne pepper clocks in at 30,000. Jalapeno peppers at 200,000. A really hot chili pepper, your eyes burn and your entire house smells. The Dorset Naga chili pepper with 923,000 units on the heat scale. But that Trinidad Scorpion, it packs a punch of over 1 million heat units. The farmers who grow it say it's all in the fertilizer made with worm juice. Supposedly it tastes kind of fruity before your tongue and mouth burn off. Sticking with the turkey and cranberry sauce, I'm Aileen Ellis. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse. Much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected. Stop collections and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the Shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-211-8753. That's 800-211-8753. 800-211-8753.
It is Dr. Sarah Larson in studio with Greg Larson. We haven't yet created all the links for it, but on our website you will find Living with Tole's mention of Miracle Mondays, how to get in touch with the webinar. That's the best way to get in touch with you.
Your website, Dr. Sarah Larson.
And Dr. Sarah Larson. So it's Dr. Sarah, S-A-R-A-H, Larson, L-A-R-S-E-N. So Sarah with an H and Larson with an E. And we so want to stay in touch with you, and we want to continue the conversation. And these Miracle Mondays are going to be so much fun. There's a chat space in there for you to be able to comment what you're experiencing from week to week. And the key concepts, you don't have to be a student of the Course in Miracles, and you don't have to have read it, but we really recommend that you log on, and here we'll define the things out. And to order the book, and it can be found in PDF form online as well, readily available from many libraries. This is something that's so beautiful and heartfelt, the way that it was written, the concepts in it for transformation, the redefinition of the way to perceive ourselves and to perceive the world and the environment.
All of that, yeah. It's a powerful, truthful reflection of what life should be, and it's so easy to be caught up in ego consciousness because it just pervades society, and this, the negativity and the focusing on tragedy and catastrophic thinking and all that stuff like that. It's so amplified in our society that we're going to do our best to amplify as much as we can with this Miracle Monday webinar broadcast the truth of love and forgiveness, and that we are miracles in ourselves, and that we have the ability to co-create miracles with the divine in our own life. Miracles in our relationships, miracles with our financial abundance, miracles, with our health. All of those things are possible for us if we can just bring our attention to those qualities.
And so that is so key. And as the last show of the year, Divine Love Talk, Dr. Parthenia Grant that hosts this, we are wishing you the happiest of holidays and the happiest. I guess maybe we do have one more Monday coming up, so we'll be back one more Monday to talk.
It's the second to the last show of the year.
It's the second to the last show. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. There's another last show.
There's another last show. We're so grateful to the CRN, to Dr. Parthenia Grant, to the Course in Miracles, to all the angels that come in the seen and unseen form to help us. And we'd love to stay connected with you. So find www.drsarahlarson.com. There's a YouTube channel. There is a Facebook for Divine Love Talk. And we'd love to hear your comments on that and how we can use Miracle Mondays to really help you. Thank you, Greg Larson.
You're so welcome, Dr. Sarah Larson.
Thank you for creating Living with Tole and for all that offers all of us. And we will be back next week to talk more about miracles and more about what we can expect in 2015, the predictions for that year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tired of hearing your favorite talk radio shows sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.